Hello! This is a Relics of Hyrule video guide video. In fact, it's the first Relics of Hyrule video guide video that I've done in a month, and it's the first item that I've done in 8 months. But, you know, you might be watching this 8 months from now and have no idea what I'm talking about, but the last item that I made a video for was the Terminin Shield. And then the most recent video guide video was for the Ruptured Towers. So this is the Lens of Truth, which took forever to actually make a video for, and it actually took a while to implement. I don't know. Anyway, let's get in here. So the Lens of Truth is in the Freezing Caves, and you access the Freezing Caves through the Link Between Worlds, and you access the Link Between Worlds by completing Kino Langdenzell, Morwidajal, or Itnamzand. You can look up those videos. There's also a Link Between Worlds video, if I remember correctly, or I know there's a Freezing Caves video. And you need the Ancient Gate Key. Where is it? I don't think I even have it on this character for some reason, even though this is my testing character. Anyway, so the Ancient Gate Key, you use the Song of Time at an Ancient Enchanter, craft the Ancient Gate Key, and then you can access the Freezing Caves via the Link Between Worlds. And it's already open, you don't have to worry about anything. And Freezing Caves, they have their own thing. So you start in here. If you want the Mask of Truth, you go there. The Lens of Truth is further down. It's not here. That's the smithy. The smithy has something important in it that I'll make another video on. So I do highly recommend exploring the Freezing Caves because I put a lot of work into them and I really like how they turned out. So definitely look around. The Lens of Truth is in a trapdoor that's in this icy cave here. After the big, chunky one. The big, huge open cave. And Kakariko Chapel. So, here's the map. Start here. Do the Link Between Worlds. Head out, turn left, and go on down past the House of the Dead into the big area that has 3 trapdoors and that giant central pillar, and then turn, well, it's the only way other than back here, and then turn right. And the Kakariko Chapel is right here, and that's a big hint as to what the Freezing Caves are. Because why would we call it Kakariko Chapel otherwise? So you enter Kakariko Chapel, and you're presented with the 3 goddess statues. The goddess statues, if you have tarnished shards, if you have 8 of one kind, the tarnished shards will stack. And there's 8. And if you have 8 of one kind, or 8 charred fragments of one kind, or do I have a charred fragment? I do not have a charred fragment on this character. But you can interact with Statue of Nehru, Statue of Din, or Statue of Ferror, and they will... You can use the shards and exchange the shards for what they're exchanged for. More on that in that video, which will be an undertaking. The tarnished shards will probably have their own video, charred fragments will have their video, and then what you do with them will have another video. So it'll be 3 videos dedicated to the shards. Anyway, Kakariko Chapel. There's a chest here with the Fierce Deity's boots in it. More on that in the Fierce Deity. There's a door. More on that in a future update. There's an offering box, and in the offering box is a Moon's Tear and a Piece of Mind, which is a brand new item that's very similar to a Piece of Heart, but it fortifies your magicka instead. And there's a prayer book that's hinting what you use the statues for. There's the entrance to the freezing caves, and the Lens of Truth is here, the fairy fountain. Before 6.27 this was called Secret Grotto, but I recently changed that. And as you enter, you are greeted with the Great Fairy. So there's the Great Fairy. You cannot interact with her. She doesn't, there's nothing to, she just stands there. Yeah, so this is a fairy fountain, the only fairy fountain. I'm going to expand it a little. You may notice there's no fairies, there's one big fairy. But there's nothing else really in it. But I will expand it. There's gonna be stuff. So there's the Great Fairy, and there's the Great Fairy's plea, and she talks about the tarnished shards and the fairies, which there's another video about the fairies. But Lens of Truth is right here. So the Lens of Truth is in the Great Fairy's offering box, as well as the Summon Great Fairy spell, which summons her for, the base is 2 minutes, but depending on your skill and the different mods that you might have, it'll increase. And there's some Great Fairies tears, which is a very useful potion. But we're here for the Lens of Truth, not the Mask of Truth. So you have the Lens of Truth. It doesn't work. Where's the? Oh, there it is. The Lens of Truth does not work the way that you might think it might work. You can't see invisible things. You can't equip the Lens of Truth. You can't do anything with the Lens of Truth. Except the Lens of Truth helps you find tarnished shards and charred fragments. And I'll explain how right now. So, there's the Great Fairy. I might as well take Summon Great Fairy for no reason. But I'll talk more about the Great Fairy in the fairy video. So many videos. This is another interesting thing here. The fairy fountain. It used to be connected to the freezing cave. It used to be connected to something. You can see that cave, the block, the stone back there. There used to be an entrance, but didn't work, or it broke, or collapsed, so they had to build this scaffold. Anyway, from Kakariko Chapel. More on Kakariko Chapel, more on that thing in another video. Can't talk about everything in one video. So, you have the Lens of Truth now. Re-enter freezing caves. And, actually, you'll need to go to an ancient enchanter, so I'm going to bring you back when I get there. Okay, we're in the Midden. This is an ancient enchanter. You can find one here. You can find one in on Solstheim in Palestone Camp, and then there's another one somewhere. I just blew past that. So, Ancient Enchanter, if you have, I don't know what mod does this. It must be, I'm gonna guess that it's Spurg. It doesn't really matter which option you choose with the Ancient Enchanter. So I'm gonna hit Craft. And it lets you, this is something, I think it must be Spurg. But anyway, go to, no, it is Enchant, apparently. Okay, it's Enchant. So if you have the mod that asks you if you want to enchant or craft, hit Enchant. I don't know what mod it is. Anyway, so, you have the Lens of Truth, and you have a tarnished shard. The Lens of Truth will tell you what tarnished shard you're holding. Because normally just says tarnished shard, and you're like, oh, because there's 3 types of tarnished shards, and there's 3 types of charred fragments, and it's hard to tell which is which unless you know. And the containers give you hints, but that's tarnished shard video. Enchant. Miscellaneous. So I am holding 2 tarnished shards of one type, and I can use them to focus the Lens of Truth on other shards of that type. So I'm going to do that. So now I have the Lens of Truth, green focus, and I can unfocus it by throwing it in there again. And then I can focus it. There's several different types. There's yellow, red, white, blue, lavender, cyan, green, and black. Cyan, lavender, and yellow are the charred fragments. Red, blue, and green are tarnished shards. White is all of them. No, white is all tarnished shards, any tarnished shards, and you can only do that one if you have one of each type of shard. Black is charred fragments, one of each type of charred fragments, and gray is anything. So if you have one of each, if you have one of each type of fragment and one of each type of shard, then you can make a gray Lens of Truth that will focus on any charred fragment or tarnished shard. So what do I mean by focus? Well, let's head back. Let's head to Itnamzand, and I'll show you. Okay, Itnamzand 03. Alright, here we are. This leads to the link between worlds, but so you need the ancient gate key to open this. It looks like this character... Huh. The noble sword isn't there, so this character has been here. I don't know. Anyway, so you can access Itnamzand in the room with the lift that goes to the link between worlds. There is this guy, the Light of Knowledge. And the Light of Knowledge has a map with a flag. Don't know why there's a flag there. There's another flag over... Oh, no. Oh, yeah, these flags are supposed to be there. There's this flag that marks more Widderjal. Sort of. That one sort of marks... There's supposed to be another flag up here. Oh, it fell over. And there's another one over there. Anyway, this is a map of Skyrim. This is a map of Solstheim. You can't interact with them, so you have to interact with the Light of Knowledge. And the Light of Knowledge will say the words of this map are in an unknown language, and a Shard of Courage is in Falkreath's Secret Grotto. So you can go to Falkreath's Secret Grotto and pick up a tarnished shard that is the same type as the Lens of Truth is focused on. So I'm focused on the Shards of Courage because I have a green focus on the Lens of Truth. And you can keep interacting with it, and it'll tell you that there's a Shard of Courage in Itnamzand. There's one in Deepwood Redoubt. There's one in Itnamzand. Ironbind Barrow, etc., etc. But if you're wearing the Mask of Truth at the same time, which this character does not seem to have, Mask of Truth, player.add item E63A95F7. Mask of Truth. If you are wearing the Mask of Truth, and you have the Lens of Truth, which I don't know why I keep bringing on my hands like there's going to be something there. If you have the Lens of Truth, focused Lens of Truth, in your inventory, and you're wearing the Mask of Truth, and you activate the Light of Knowledge, it'll say a Shard of Courage can be found in an inlet close to High Rock, just under the surf, and depending on what it says, Falkreath's Secret Grotto, Eastmarch Secret Grotto, Eastmarch Secret Grotto, Eastmarch Secret Grotto. I know about the Secret Grottos. High Rock, yeah. High Rock, come on. Deepwood Redoubt. Okay, map updated. So, only a few will do this, but so the Falkreath's Secret Grotto does not have a map marker, so it didn't mark it on my map. The Secret Grotto in Eastmarch doesn't have one either. The inlet near High Rock doesn't have a map marker, but Deepwood Redoubt has a map marker, so it marked it on my map because I was wearing the Mask of Truth and I had a focused Lens of Truth. So, to summarize, Find a tarnished shard, or charred fragment. Tarnished shard, there it is. And you need the, So, summarize. Lens of Truth. Lens of Truth is in the fairy fountain under Kakariko Chapel, and Kakariko Chapel is in the freezing caves. Access to freezing caves through Itnumzand, Morwitterzal, or Kino Langdonzel, but you need an ancient gate key, which you get with the Song of Time, which is in Foralhost. Then, if you have a charred fragment or tarnished shard, like I do, you can focus the Lens of Truth at an Ancient Enchanter. An Ancient Enchanter can be found in the Midden Palestone Camp, another place. And once you do that, you can focus the Lens of Truth. Take the focused Lens of Truth to Itnumzand. You need the Ancient Gate Key again. Well, you needed it to get the Lens of Truth in the first place, so those should be fine. Go to Itnumzand, which is on Solstheim, which was not here. That's called Winterhold. Solstheim, come in here. You have to get all the way through it. Get to the chamber with the lift that goes to Link Between Worlds. And the Light of Knowledge. As long as you have the Lens of Truth in your inventory, it'll tell you where you can find a shard that has been focused to. In this case, I focused to green, which is Courage. Shard of Courage. It'll tell you where it is, and if you're wearing the Mask of Truth, it'll mark it on your map if it has a map marker. Whew, that is the Lens of Truth. So, enjoy. It is here for your help. The Lens of Truth is here to help you find the tarnished shards. And it was quite an undertaking. It was pretty tricky to make. I had to script it. And there was a point where it broke the gossip stones. Like this, it was an undertaking. So, that is the Lens of Truth video. Thank you for watching. There are more videos on the channel. There are more to come. The next video will probably be the Fighter's Shield. So keep tuned for that.